Hello everyone, my name is Ron and I am the Program Director of Reflections Treatment Center, Intensive Outpatient Program. Today I want to talk to you guys about prelapse prevention. Now, what is prelapse prevention? Well, prelapse prevention is about the thinking and acting that precedes relapse from any addiction, either substance abuse or process or behavior addictions. And today, for that purpose, we're going to be talking and looking at what we call the iceberg theory. We're going to start with the understanding of what is sobriety, starting from the very top. And this is where we want to be in our recovery, in sobriety. Sobriety has many different attributes to it. Some of those we're going to take a look at today. So if we look at the benefits of sobriety, what does that mean? Well, being reasonable is one of them. Rational would be another one. Realistic in our thinking. Practical in our purpose in life. And of course, clarity, mental clarity. The Greek derivative of the word sobriety means mental clarity, clear thinking. Now, as we move along in our recovery, many times, many of us might become what we call complacent. And we've put complacency right at water level, where you'll see that people are just above water now. They've rested on their laurels, so to speak, and they're not really taking any more action in the recovery program. And there's some signs to this that we know of. Number one would be letting up on recovery meetings, cutting back on our recovery calls, connection with other people that are in recovery. Number two, canceling helpful therapy. This is not in conjunction with you and your therapist. This is just saying, you know what, I think I've done enough in therapy, I'm finished. Stop taking prescribed medication for mental health. This is a common problem that happens in recovery and leads a lot of times into relapse. And then, of course, thinking we know everything, thinking that we have all the answers. I've done enough to get sober. There's an old saying, I think George Carlin used to say it, the monkey's off my back, but the circus is still in town, so to speak. So that talks about complacency. Now, as you know, we get below water, and now we're struggling with some parts of our recovery here that we call sobriety. What is sobriety? What does sobriety mean? Well, let's take a look at some examples. Characteristics of being dry might be irritability. Now, all of a sudden, throughout the day, we might find ourselves more irritable at people, places, and things than we were in the past. Restless, having a hard time sitting still, feeling a sense of agitation. And selfishness, focusing on ourselves only. Now we're not thinking about how we could help others, of how we could contribute to society, about how perhaps our behavior might be affecting others. We're in a state of selfishness. Dishonesty, perhaps we're not being honest about where we are, what we're doing, what we're thinking, and sharing about what's really going on with us, with others. And resentful, now resentments are starting to take part in our lives. We're becoming resentful at family members, or maybe we're resentful at our sponsor because he called us on something that we were doing that we didn't like. Resentful with our spouses or our boyfriends or girlfriends. And of course, overall dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction with recovery, dissatisfaction with life. Life is not as wonderful as it was, so to speak, when we're in sobriety. And then we can go to the next level, everyone, and that is prelapse. Now, this is an area here where we're talking about we're really getting ready to the point of where we're almost going to start using. And the signs of that can be many different things. Reactivation of denial. So now in terms of denial, what we're struggling with is, gosh, I only had a problem with alcohol. I never had a problem with cannabis. Maybe I can use a little bit of that. Or, you know what, I wasn't that bad before. And so maybe this time I can just use a little bit. Or we might have loss of control. This might be control of our behaviors around other people. Maybe we're getting angry faster. We're not as attentive to situations around us as we used to be. Next one would be behavior changes. Behavior changes could be isolation. It can be starting to maybe gamble. If we didn't have a problem with gambling before, and all of a sudden we're starting to become more of a person that likes to get out and gamble. Changes in our attitude, our general attitude towards other people. Social breakdown, not connecting with my friends as much, isolating more, not spending time with others, or reaching out to family members and connecting with them. This includes our sponsor, our therapists, our recovery support. Loss of structure. Before, perhaps we were very structured in what we do on a daily basis in terms of our schedule. Now all of a sudden we find that we're letting our structure slip a little bit. We're not following through with commitments and things that we had done in the past. Elevated stress. Maybe bills are starting to pile up because we've been lackadaisical about our approach to our life and taking care of business, and now all of a sudden we're having stress. We're having stress at work, we're having stress with financial difficulties, maybe even stress in our relationships. And then we can talk about loss of judgment. Perhaps now our judgment has taken a big lump here in terms of the decisions that we're making. Maybe now we're hanging around some of our old using friends, or showing up in places where we used to go that bring us back to thoughts and memories of past use and abuse. So that would be signs of prelapse for us.